Hi, welcome to Hot Chocolate Hits. I'm Benica and today I'm going to show you how to make a devil's food chocolate cake. And it's funny because out of all the videos that I have, the only chocolate cake that I have is a vegan chocolate cake, which is really good and it's perfect for a vegan alternative. But today I'm going to show you how to make the real deal. This is a full-on moist, totally fudgy, chocolatey cake. I'm making it for my dad's birthday because chocolate cake is also his favorite cake. That's where I get it from. So, and trust me, I've made a billion chocolate cakes and this one is my favorite. So today I'm going to show you how to make it. Let's get started. So I'm making a layer cake and I want to ensure that nothing sticks. So I'm going to start by greasing two 9-inch round cake pans with butter. And then I'm going to line the bottoms with grease-proof paper that I've just cut in the shape of a circle. So that it fits perfectly on the bottom. And then finally I'm going to add a little bit of flour in the pan and just kind of dust the edges. Now you can also make this cake in the shape of a 9 by 13-inch pan if you'd like. So you just want to set those pans aside once you're done with them, and to make the cake in a bowl you're going to combine 1 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour and 3/4 of a cup of dark unsweetened cocoa powder, no substitutions. Next you're going to add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of salt. People keep asking me if they can substitute baking powder for soda or vice versa, and you can't. You have to add both of those. Then you're going to add 2 cups of light brown sugar. I love that light brown sugar has a molassesy flavor and it just has more of a flavor than white sugar, but you can substitute granulated sugar if you would like. Then you just want to whisk these ingredients together until incorporated, and then using a spoon or spatula just push the sides of the mixture so you make a hole or a crater in the center. So we're going to add our wet ingredients to this hole. The first thing I'm going to add is 2 whole eggs. Make sure they're at room temperature. Next I'm going to add 1 cup of buttermilk. You can use a tablespoon of vinegar and 1 cup of milk as a substitution. Buttermilk is responsible for the moistness in this cake, and if you want to know exactly why, click the link to my blog in the description box below where I will provide you with analysis on why everything in this cake works the way it does. After you've roughly incorporated the first set of ingredients, you're going to add 1 cup of strong black coffee. You won't be able to taste the coffee, but coffee brings out the flavor in chocolate. You're also going to add half a cup of vegetable oil and just whisk together. If you don't have a whole cup of coffee, you can just add 1 cup of boiling water and 2 teaspoons of instant espresso powder, or you can omit the espresso powder on the whole if you really don't want to add the coffee. Then just pour the mixture, distribute it evenly between the 2 9-inch pans, and then pop it into the oven for 30 to 35 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean with a few crumbs. I also like to pat it down a bit so that I get a flat top, but that's totally optional. You just want to set the cakes aside to cool completely. Now for the frosting. Combine half a cup of melted unsalted butter with 2/3 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder and whisk together until smooth. Then you're going to add in 3 cups of powdered sugar and alternate this powdered sugar with 1/3 of a cup of milk. And you just want to kind of switch, so you add 1 cup of powdered sugar and then you can add 1/3 of the 1/3 of the cup of milk, and then you just want to keep beating until you get a nice smooth consistency. Then you want to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1/4 teaspoon of salt and continue whisking until incorporated. The more you whisk, the lighter and smoother it will be, so just keep mixing until you reach your desired consistency. Now to assemble the cake. You're going to invert the cake onto a cake board or a plate, and then just tap the bottom just to make sure that it comes out pretty easily. I also suggest running a knife through the edges right before you do this so that you make sure that no edges stick if there was a part that you didn't grease by accident. Then just peel off that parchment paper. Then you want to place strips of parchment paper under the cake. This is a neat trick to prevent the cake board from getting dirty after frosting. Then you want to plop about 1/3 of the frosting that you prepared onto the cake and just kind of smooth it out with a knife or offset spatula. Now get the second cake out of that pan, so you want to kind of run the knife through the center, tap it, and then once you've placed your cake, just peel off that parchment paper and make sure that it isn't topsy-turvy. Then you want to refrigerate the cake for a minimum of 30 minutes just so that the frosting kind of holds the cake in place and then it doesn't lean to one side. Trust me, you don't want that to happen. Then just place the next third of the frosting on the top of the cake and just smooth it out with your offset spatula. I like to start from the center and just kind of push the frosting towards the sides, which makes it a lot easier when you're actually going to go in and do the sides. I always like to put a little bit more than 1/3 of the frosting on the top of the cake, because then when I push it down the sides, it's easier to smooth out, and then it minimizes the amount of crumbs that mix with the frosting. And with this cake, there are very little because they're both chocolate, and I guess you won't see them as well. You can do a crumb coat if you would like to, but I don't see the need since you won't see the crumbs. And you just want to go and peel those wax strips around the cake out. And I also like to go in and kind of smooth out and perfect the cake after I do that. And then I like to do, for a fun design, just place your spatula and just kind of make these indentations. This looks kind of like waves. I don't do it down the sides because I like that part to remain neat, but I do like that slightly messy look on the cake because you're gonna get messy anyway. Now just cut yourself a slice and enjoy. This is definitely exactly how I want a chocolate cake to be. It's very chocolatey, it's fudgy, it's not too crumbly because a lot of chocolate cakes are crumbly, and it's not super dark that it's overpoweringly bitter or anything. This goes great with a glass of milk. It's perfect to the end of a dinner party. It's perfect for birthdays. It's perfect for all occasions. I really hope you give this chocolate cake a try. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.